Africa for yourself. Girls, guys, Africa is beautiful. My one regret is that I didn't start traveling to Africa much earlier. That's it. Come.
YouTube channel. Today I have Judy.
Hey guys, my name is Judy Ann Hines. I'm also a YouTuber, Jamaican YouTuber that's based in Qatar. Yeah.
We are currently in Dar es Salaam. How many countries have you been to in Africa?
3.
3.
Yeah, just 3 so far.
Which one?
I've been to Kenya 3 times. I've been to South Africa, and now I've been to Tanzania.
I've noticed African American and people from the Caribbean are more interested in traveling to Africa and getting to know the African continent. So I've got some questions. Those are so interesting, and I wanted to know Judy's opinion about them. I got them from Traveling Sister. Do you watch Traveling Sister?
I think I've watched a few of her vlogs. That's the lady who she's vegan and she lives in Tanzania, right?
Yeah.
I think I've seen some of her vlogs.
Yes, we love Traveling Sister. Okay, so the first question is, did you have any thoughts about what Africa would be like before you came landed in Africa?
All right, so of course, you see all the negative pictures, you see the pictures of the poverty and all of that, but I have always been interested in Africa, and I've watched a lot of Nigerian movies. Like, I'm obsessed with Nollywood. I'm really, really obsessed with Nollywood. So from that, I was able to see that there are definitely beautiful houses, beautiful cities in Africa, along with the poverty. So I was expecting to see a bit of both. Yeah. But if I was depending on like mainstream media alone, I would have just come expecting to see just poverty, but nah. Like, Nollywood introduced me to another side of Africa before coming.
And when you landed in Nairobi, Kenya?
All right, so first of all, Africa has been my dream for years. So the first time I landed on African soil, I actually cried. Like,
really?
Yes, I actually cried. Like, I welled up, like, I couldn't believe, because it had been my dream for years. It had been my dream for years. So I was really, really, really happy to finally be on African soil, even though I thought that Nigeria would have been my first African destination. But I was just really happy to be here. And then the second thing that hit me was how much it felt like home. Yeah.
Okay, the second one, on your plane ride here, how did you feel? Oh, I think you've already answered that.
On the plane ride, I was just excited. I was just really excited. I was anxious to finally get here. When my first time coming to Africa, I left from Japan, and it was a really long journey, and I had a very long layover in Abu Dhabi, so I was kind of tired too. Yeah, I was kind of tired too, but I was just anxious to get here.
Okay, another question. How do you feel being here as a Jamaican?
It feels good.
Do you feel any different?
It literally feels like home. Like driving from, first of all, Jamaicans love Africa. Jamaicans are, I think, probably like one of the main Caribbean islands that are like super, super in tune with their African roots. With the whole Rastafarian movement, a lot of and this is off the books too, because I think probably if you do a research, you'll find that in a lot of African countries like Ethiopia, Ghana, Nigeria, if you check to see how what Caribbean island has the highest percentage of people moving or living in those countries, you'll probably see the highest is Jamaica, because we're just so connected. A lot of them, because of the whole Rastafarian movement, have moved to Ethiopia. A lot of them have set up settlements in Ghana, and a lot of them I know have businesses or whatever in Nigeria. So it just feels like home. I feel very comfortable here driving through. Some places just look like downtown Kingston. Some places look like a parish in my country called St. Elizabeth. It just feels like home.
That's nice. Yeah. How do you find the local people in Kenya and maybe also in Tanzania, because you're in Tanzania also?
All right, so in Kenya, it's good to be in an environment where, you know, it's all black. You see a lot of black people. That's like one of the best things. But there are a lot of similarities, but there are also like a lot of differences. I find that Kenyans are a bit more, they're quiet. They're a bit on the quiet side. Yeah, like they're not as straightforward as Jamaicans, as most Jamaicans are. So, but I like that. They're friendly. You know, Jamaicans are friendly people, and Kenyans are pretty friendly, and I do like that. You know, I can go around and I can ask people questions. That's fine. You know, and they'll answer me, or they'll take me to where I need to go. So they're very friendly. I like that. But just in terms of like differences, they're a bit more on the quiet side, and they're not as straightforward as most Jamaicans are. So you kind of have to read between the lines or listen carefully to what is being said to see what they truly mean. Yeah. I hope that answered your question.
And Tanzania, no comment. Steve.
All right, for Tanzanians, it's kind of hard to comment on. They're friendly, but they're very polite. I think they're very, very polite. They're not very pushy at all. But it's very hard in terms of communicating with them, because their first language is Swahili, and they don't communicate in English very well.
In Swahili.
Yeah.
Also, my Swahili is so difficult. It's different. They say that Swahili is
Pure.
perfect, pure, but only in speaking.
Yeah, so it's kind of hard to communicate with the Tanzanians just because of the language barrier.
Yeah. Okay, what activities have you done here in Kenya and also in Tanzania?
All right, so just Kenya and Tanzania, you're not counting South Africa in it? Just Kenya and Tanzania?
Okay, even
South Africa.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so the first thing that favorite activity.
Yeah, one
All
favorite
right.
activity in those three countries.
All right, so I think for Kenya, it would have to be two. I can't decide which one is better. For Kenya, I think the safari and volunteering. Those two have been my two favorite activities in Kenya. In South Africa, oh my gosh, I don't even know where to start, guys. But I think maybe dive in with the great white sharks and the lion walk. Those two have been my best, my top two activities in South Africa. And in Tanzania, my top activity, I think, has been, I love history and culture, so I think going to Prison Island and the Palace Museum in Zanzibar, those two were actually my favorite activities. And by the way, I have links to all those videos on my channel, so go check them out.
Okay. How do any adjustments like bathrooms, languages, social,
right.
basic needs?
Guys, listen to me. Walk with your tissue, okay? Please. I don't know what it is about having tissues in bathrooms here in Africa, but walk with your tissue, okay? They're there. You can hardly find tissues in the bathroom. Eating with your hands. Eating with your hands was also something I had to adjust to, but, it wasn't hard. Like, I don't know, I found that very easy to adapt to. And the bus transportation. Public transportation wasn't bad in terms of the buses, because, in Jamaica we have the buses, with the loud music and all that thing, so that really wasn't anything to adjust to. We also have bikes in Jamaica, but just for like real rural areas, not like it's common in like the bodas in Nairobi town and stuff like that. So that was something I had to adjust to. And the buses, the long haul buses, we have Knutsford back home in Jamaica, and even our regular buses like from Kingston to Montego Bay are a bit comfortable, but the buses in
long distance.
The long distance buses in Africa can be something else. Can be something else. I think my first experience, though, they said I took a wrong bus, that I should have taken another one, but my first experience was horrible.
You should always take, okay, this is free promo, but in Nairobi, I'm just helping you guys, only take Modern Coast, Coast Bus, MASH, and what else? Tamid if you're coming to Tanzania. Yes.
Okay.
And also in Tanzania, I can recommend Kilimanjaro Express.
Kilimanjaro was good yesterday. But trust me,
don't take any buses.
The other bus that I took from Nairobi to Mombasa that one time, it was something else.
No, that one is
it was something else. And then too, one thing that I have to say, Kenya has a really good train system, the SGR, because we don't have the train back in Jamaica. We no longer have the train. We used to have a diesel and the train, but then it's now defunct. So that was pretty good.
Yeah, it makes the journey shorter to Mombasa.
Yeah.
What else? Do you see yourself living in Africa?
Yes. 3 times, yes. Hey, 3 times. Again, Africa has always been my dream, and I've always wanted to live here. And right now, I haven't been to Kenya, I haven't been to Nigeria and Ghana yet, but I plan to go by the end of this year. And I have narrowed it down, even though I haven't been there yet, I've narrowed it down to 3 places: Kenya, Nigeria, and Ghana. So I think after visiting those 2 countries in December, I will really make a decision as to where I'd go, but I can see myself living in Kenya, definitely.
Why do you think like many African Americans and Caribbeans are much interested in like migrating to Africa?
Okay, so I can speak specifically for Jamaicans and just like other conversations that I've had with African Americans too. For Jamaicans, I know a lot of them come to Ethiopia and Ghana because of the whole Rastafarian movement. A lot of them are interested in that. And of course, we all went we're all in the Caribbean because of slavery, right? We all got to the Caribbean because of slavery. So a lot of people are just becoming more conscious and wanting to move back to the motherland. Again, to cost of living. I know, like people might say, like people living in Africa because of like job opportunities or whatnot, they might say it's expensive. But if you're coming from another country and you're coming over with money saved, or you have like the opportunity to open a business, cost of living is way cheaper for us in Africa. Like the type of lifestyle that we'll be able to live in Africa, we might not be able to live it in our home country. Like for instance, people. I've heard African Americans say that, they'd pay like probably what they'd pay like $1,200 for a month for rent can actually maybe get them a piece of land here, in some countries, and they can live like a king or queen then, because of the cost of living here.
Okay, so not so negative, but if the economy, what about the economy?
I think it's how do I say this? It's an emerging economy. Like there's a lot of possibility for growth, especially if you have the capital.
Yeah, like what kind of business do you think like? I don't have to give a list.
I don't know, like maybe
you've come here. Like what business do you think like?
All right, so I don't want to say what I would do as yet. Yes, because I don't want anyone to take my idea, But I don't know what I don't want to say what it is as yet. But I know like a lot of Jamaicans in like Nigeria have opened like plazas. They've built plazas, and watching different channels, I see some people going into like farming. Farming industry.
True.
Yeah,
farming is really good.
Yeah, I see people going into like farming, and there's some people who are going into like textiles. They're making clothing from African prints, bags from African prints, and then selling them. Having online stores and people from stateside or wherever buying them. So those are 3 things that I see people doing a lot of. Yeah.
Which African countries do you prefer? You've said it already.
Well, the three that I've been to, I like. Like, I really do like the three that I've been to.
And which ones do you want in the near future to go
Okay,
to?
so for this year leading into next, I have Nigeria, Ghana, and Ethiopia. I also really want to go to Rwanda and Uganda. And I just want to go everywhere. I really want to go to all 55 countries in Africa. Yes.
That's nice.
Yeah. Once, so I just need to get the money.
Many differences you see between Dar and Arusha.
All right. Arusha is more country. It's more rural.
I love Arusha.
Yeah, it has that country, and I'm a country girl at heart. Like in Jamaica, I live in the country. I really do like, clean air and the whole country vibes. And Arusha also has like the safaris. That's where the safaris and Kilimanjaro is, and Meru and all of that. So I like that because that kind of speaks to my adventurous side. I can go hiking, I can go do the safaris and whatnot. So I like that. And I also like that it's just more authentic to me. Dar, is a bigger city, so you have it's like more industrialized. So you have like more like Western restaurants here and stuff like that. But it's not that developed or too much developed where you still can't feel like you're in Africa. But if I had to choose between Arusha and Dar, I would probably choose Arusha.
Arusha is really nice.
Yeah.
I love Arusha, and I'm not a country girl, and I love it. Okay. How do you like the food, the taste from like the three different countries you've been to?
Alright, so let me start with South Africa. South Africa's food is, I think it's okay, like
they have spices.
It's
What's
okay.
their main dish?
I think the braai, don't kill me if I'm not pronouncing it right, I pronounce it correctly, but I think braai, and that's like a barbecue, their barbecue meats, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I'm not big like on beef and stuff like that. So
that's their main starch. Starchy food.
Let me tell you what it's called. Pap. It's like, to me, it's kind of like ugali.
Oh, it's made with rich flour, corn flour.
Yeah, it's made with corn flour, I think, yeah.
And
pap. And Arusha, Tanzania. Tanzania's food is it's spiced, yeah. It's okay. I like it. And Kenya. Kenya has a lot of nyama choma, and I'm not a big meat person. But in Kenya, I love their ugali. I love sukuma. I love sukuma wiki, and my all-time favorites would have to be chapati and masala fries.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I think in Kenya though, I like spice, like peppery stuff, and I think they can add a little more pepper in their stuff. Yeah, but I do like the food.
What are some of the things that you didn't vibe with about Tanzania and Kenya?
That I didn't like.
Yes.
I think it's just mainly the fact that the bathrooms don't have tissue. Like, I don't know what it is. Why? Is it that people steal the tissue out of the bathrooms? What? I don't know why.
Yes.
Why is it that I can't find, tissues in the bathroom? Like,
people take tissues.
They take them out, so I guess that's why they don't put them in. That's one of the things that
I do that sometimes.
You do that? Confession is good for the soul.
I even take like shower gels. I love taking little stuff. So
I don't think
maybe transportation, like the buses, they could do better.
Like I don't know, like there was to be honest, I don't know if it's because I adjust so easily to things, but like nothing really bothered me. I just really felt I just went with the flow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you recommend these three countries you've currently visited to other African
Yes.
African American,
Caribbean.
Caribbean,
Yes.
diasporas.
Yes. Yes, get your passports out, save your money. I know we join partners in Jamaica, join your partners, probably 2 years if you need to, and save and come and let me tell you guys, the most expensive thing, and I have a vlog about this too, a little bit later, but the most expensive thing about traveling to Africa is the airfare to Africa.
Yeah.
And once you get in the country, it's cheap.
Yeah.
It's really, really, really affordable. Don't listen to mainstream media.
Yeah.
Don't. Come and experience Africa for yourself. There's so many people doing vlogs about Africa. There's so many people who are writing blogs about Africa. Watch the videos, read the blogs, some people, like-minded people, and come and experience Africa for yourself. Girls, guys, Africa is beautiful. My one regret is that I didn't start traveling to Africa much earlier. That's it. Come.
Do you feel like your life has changed in a way?
Yes. Connecting to, all right, so like in school, you always read about the slave trade and the impact of apartheid and all those things. When I went to South Africa and I went to the apartheid museum and I saw the films and I listened to the different speeches and the different reasons they gave for apartheid, and just to be in the just in the environment and to see what has changed and what hasn't, it was so impactful. I really connected with that, so that I have a new appreciation for the struggles that my forefathers went through, and also volunteering in Kenya has also opened my eyes and humbled me a lot too. I'm very grateful for what I have, and it has also given me a new resolve to help, as much as I possibly can. So it definitely has had an impact on me.
Curiosity level about Africa changed?
No, I'm still curious because just as how every Caribbean island is different, we have similarities, but there are also differences. Every African country is different. Yeah. So the more I travel to Africa, the more I want to see the similarities, see the differences. So trust me, being here has just piqued my interest even more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have how many countries in Africa?
I think it's 55. I could be wrong, 50 or 55.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. 55.
Mm-hmm.
One of your most memorable experiences in the 3 countries you've been to?
All right, so I think I already talked about my top 3, but
they're basically safari.
Yeah.
Volunteer.
Yeah.
And the lions in South Africa.
Yes. Yes.
And the prison in Zanzibar.
The prison island in Zanzibar and the Palace Museum. Yeah. Yeah.
So what are the interesting things to see in Tanzania?
In Tanzania, go to Zanzibar. You can't come to Tanzania and not go to Zanzibar.
Yes,
they have beautiful
Zanzibar.
Beaches, great food. You see a lot of Swahili influence. The buildings are nice. It's just really, really nice. And if you go to Zanzibar, please go stay at Fordani Park Hotel. Kemunto has a video.
Yes.
Just go and put up a vlog on that. So go watch it Fordani Park Hotel. Try the food. The food is fresh. Food is really fresh. I like the markets. I like going to African markets. I like seeing how they present their foods and just stuff like that. And guys, you can't come to Africa and not go to East Africa and not go to a Maasai market. Go to the Maasai market. Oh, one of my favorite things to do in Kenya too is going to the Maasai village. You have to. It's like an out of this world experience. It really is something different. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Any advice about coming to Africa?
All right. Just make sure you check the requirements for health requirements. See what vaccines you need to take. There are a lot of countries. I'm anti-vaccine. I don't do vaccines, so I don't know what I'm going to do about Ghana and the yellow fever vaccine in December. But anyway, I'll cross that when I get there. But try and see what vaccines you need. There are some countries that they will tell you, because they told me, they recommended a vaccine for Kenya and South Africa. I didn't take any. So, and I was quite okay, and so just check, because that might hinder your travel. Some African countries are visa-free for us as Jamaicans. I suggest going to those countries first. Getting a visa might be a hassle for a lot of people, but really and truly, getting the visa to these countries are like so hassle-free. It's so easy, And it's normally cheap, but a lot of these countries don't only do like a one entry. So check that as well. So if you're going to be country hopping, then you need to work out your situation. Do the destinations based on
East African countries. You can do if you're coming to Kenya, you visit Tanzania, there's a visa for that. Yeah, you go. It's easier when you go on the same places. Yeah.
Then a lot of African countries do have visa-free entry too as well, and I'm going to be doing a vlog on the countries that you can visit as a Jamaican without having a visa, a Jamaican passport, visa-free. But and then a lot of countries too have been giving us like Ghana just recently. We used to need to have a visa for Ghana, but with the whole Return to Africa movement, or the year Return to Ghana movement 2019, the president's recent visit to Jamaica and other Caribbean islands, we now have visa-free entry to Ghana, so that's something.
So that's where our video will end today. And if you are African American, you can go check out African Sister. She has more direct details, more details about how she moved. And I'll link also her channel down below. It's not a collaboration on anything, but I just want to if you have more questions that I can't explain, because I'm born and raised in Kenya and she's Jamaican, you can go and look at her videos. Okay, and also I'll link Judy's travels channel down below. She'll be doing more of that. She promised Judy she'll be doing more of your travels. The more hectic stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye. And come to Africa.
Yes.